Hello guys, Michael back with CSI Gaming. The first video we went through the tutorial, I told you guys to get acquainted with Magic would be best to buy the dual decks in person, or what we're playing today, a little different, is we're playing in Magic Arena. It's a free to play game that I recommended you get to familiarize yourself with the game if you don't have nobody to play with. And we're just going to hop right in. Here we go. We're going to go to our decks. I'm going to go over some of the archetypes of certain colors so you'll understand just about what they do. White, which is this deck that I have here called Lifelink, and that is why. Lifelink is an ability, we'll open it up to this creature. This creature here is a 1/1, as we can see here. 1 toughness, 1 life, or 1 attack power, 1 life toughness. It has lifelink, so it cannot be blocked by creatures with power of 3 or greater. That means that this number would have to be higher than 3 for it to not be able to be blocked. Up here, we see that the symbol that you can see on a bigger one, the upper right side, has 1 symbol. What does that symbol mean? It is your lands. Your lands will be the way that you will pay to play your cards. This here, we're coming back to this, she's a creature. It tells you the creature type, and it's a human noble. We see that this one is a lifelink cat because it tells us that. And it says that it will enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it for each creature you control named Charmed Stray. We see we have creatures, but what is this here? It says it's an instant. Target creature gets +1/+0 till end of turn. Draw a card. Instance is like a spell you can use whenever you can, as long as you have the mana to play it. Most of these cards, as we see, have 1 mana. But if we look down here, this enchantment is an aura, which means you can put this on a creature and it stays. It says enchanted creature can't attack or block, which is a very good way to stop somebody from attacking you. And if we could see at the corner, you need 1 white mana, and there is a 2 in a circle. What that means is any other mana. So, when you look at this, it is considered the CMC, or converted mana cost. This means to play Luminous Bonds, we would need 3 mana. We can only play enchantments during our time, our turn, as long as it doesn't say flash on it. So we have enchantments. Sorceries is the same as enchantments. It can only be done on our turn unless it has the flash ability, which means that that spell can be used at any time, like an instant. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back, and I'm going to go over a match with you. And how I'm going to do it is I'm going to use a blue-black. Blue is more of a control theme. You can take players' cards and put them in the graveyard. You can phase out their cards. Mixed with black. The black themes are more the death touch and destructive type of cards. To get the cards out of there, it will destroy them. It will get cards out of the graveyard. You think zombies, you think vampires, all those are wrapped around a black theme. So I will be using this one to demonstrate up against my favorite bot, Sparky. And as the match goes on, I will show you some more stuff. Here, is our opening hand. We can keep all 7, or we can mulligan. Now it says here, if we mulligan, you must return 1 card to the bottom of your library, which means if I mulligan, I only will have 6. So we will keep 7. As you can tell, each player starts with 20 life in this format. And it is our turn, and we will play a card. It's always best to play your land on each turn if you have one. During your first turn, you cannot draw a card until the second turn. Second turn, we just drew a card, and as you can see, we've gotten a swamp down. Our opponent seems to be playing a blue-themed deck and has laid down an island. We will continue our turn by laying another land. And as we can't do nothing, the game will automatically switch. But in real life, you would probably tell your opponent, I end my turn. Okay, as we see, we drew another card, which was a Dread Horde Invasion. Over here we have a Dimir Guildgate. It enters the battlefield tapped, but it gives us the option, since it's a merged color of blue and black, that later on it will let us add one. So we will lay that down. As that doesn't count towards anything, we can still play this enchantment. It says at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and amass 1. Whenever a zombie token you control with a power greater or 6 attacks, it gains lifelink until end of turn. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring out our enchantment onto the field. Now you'll notice each turn I take, I will lose a life, but I will get a zombie token in turn. There's our zombie. Now, for every card I have that says amass 1, it will make that card stronger. And since we are going up against a flying creature, I see it best to put another flying creature out there. Why? Simple, because flying creatures can only be blocked by other flying creatures. If I did not have a flying creature out there, it would have easily been able to attack me. As you see here, it is trying to attack me. I will defend with this. And as you can tell, since they are both 2/2, they will probably kill each other and cancel out. I lose a life, it gains 1. However, we got another land this turn. So there go, we can put the land down. We can go down and see that we have one that says, when an Eternal Skylord enters the battlefield, amass 2. So we will lay that down, and our zombie will get 2 stronger. Wait a minute, something happened. 1, 2, 3, 4 lands. You remember I told you the CMC. I would need 5 total to play this. So let's undo that. And let's play this. Now we will attack with our zombie and take 3 damage to our enemy. Here's a hard decision. Do I block and lose my fairy? Or do I take the 2 damage? Let's eat the damage. Unfortunately, I lost my creature. I was still able to survive with my life. Let us use this sorcery here. It says the spell costs 1 less to cast if you have a flyer, which I don't, which will give us 2 more cards in our hand. Maybe we'll get some more options. Seems we've gotten another 2-colored land, and I will attack with my zombie. However, this will leave me vulnerable because I have no blockers now. Oof. As we were talking earlier, since he is blue, he controlled and removed the creature from the battlefield. However, my enchantment will give me a 1/1 back. We have more land to play, which will open up an Eternal Skylord when it enters the battlefield. Amass 2. Zombie tokens you control have flying. Now my zombie has flying. That is all I can do that turn, unfortunately. I will sacrifice my Skylord. We seem to have an island. I will play that, which will open up Sphinx. You may reveal this card from your opening hand. If you do, scry 3 at the beginning of your first upkeep. At the beginning of your upkeep, scry 1. What scry means is I get to look at the top 3 cards of my deck. I have 3 more mana I can use. So we will play this Lazotep Reaver to amass 1 more to our zombie. And if you remember, it says here when a zombie you control gets a power of 6 or greater, it gains lifelink. We're getting close. I will attack with him, and I will return it to my hand again. Devilish little bugger. Okay, here is the scry. I get to see that it is another Eternal Skylord. We will keep it on top, which means I will draw it. I will put it on the battlefield and we will get our zombie to 3. I will attack with my 4/4 flyer. We're still in this game even though we're down. Don't get discouraged if your life is lower than your opponent's. The whole idea of this is to outsmart your opponent in order for you to get the victory. We will swing and swing with 2 flyers. They will block and I will attack both of them. I lost my zombie in the process, but he also lost his blockers. Now I have full control of the battlefield. He has no blockers. I will bring out a Gravewalker Waker with flying. And this thing has a pay ability. If I was to pay 7 mana, I can return target creature from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped, which we will see next round. Maybe? Nope. We did it. We beat him. Feel free to go back and look at how I played each round. You always have 4 steps when playing. You have your first upkeep. I will show you here real quick. I might have forgotten to go over that part with you. During your playing, even in real life, you got a friend, you got dual decks, and you want to play. This is the draw. First main. Stop on second. Stop on end step. When you're at your draw stage, you will draw a card. Your main step is that you untap all your creatures and all your lands, so you get a clean slate, so you can play your cards, and then that is it. They just played an instant, deal 2 shock damage to any target. We will play down another land. And I still can't do nothing because it seems all my cards are high mana cost. So we will just keep laying down lands. As it seems he doesn't have anything. Well, he does now. We will play another land and lay out an Avian Eternal that will give us another zombie. As you can see, this deck is themed around a certain way of playing. This deck is designed to amass this zombie and make him as powerful as we can. As we see, this attacker has only 1 HP, and I have 2. However, I only have 2 damage and would not be able to kill it. So I will not block it. I will take the damage of only 1. Next up, we will see that we have a murder. Murder is an instant. We can use it to destroy that card. Why did we destroy that one? Because it was not tapped and it could block. Now we're able to fully swing and do 3 damage. It is always best to look for openings like that when you can. Now we're open and we have no blockers. As you can see, he's able to attack with that creature, but not that one. Why? Every creature you summon to the battlefield has summon sickness for 1 round, which means you have to wait to your next turn before you're able to use it, unless that creature has haste. Haste means it can attack on the first one. We're going to lay down this sorcery that says enter the God's Eternal, deals 4 damage to a target creature. You gain life equal to that damage. This way, target player mills 4 cards, amass 4. We will destroy this card. We will gain the life, and we will amass 4. We will attack with this one, but we will leave this one unblocked or untapped, so we can use him as a blocker if we need to. It's always best to not attack with all your creatures unless your opponent has no creatures on the field, because they can block, like I'm going to show you here. I figured he had an instant that would buff his character. It would give him +3/+2 to the end of turn, which killed that creature. But as you see, when Gleaming Overseer enters the battlefield, amass 1. Zombie tokens you control have hexproof and menace. As you can see, our zombie now has hexproof and menace. Hexproof means he's unable to be targeted by any minus abilities that will hurt his stats, or anything that can, it says menace. A creature with menace can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. And as you can tell, he only has 1 blocker. So if we choose to attack, we will attack with this one. Since he can't block because he has only 1, we will do 6 damage to him. It seems we have an instant, but it is a 6 mana cost. I have 1 blocker who can do 1 damage, so we will kill the Goblin Bird Grabber with only 1 life. That is, unless he buffs it. And he buffed it. It is always best to keep your instances that buff your creatures until you need them, like he did. This spell cannot be countered. Draw 2 cards and amass X, where X is the number of cards in your hand. That card really does nothing, but since I have no cards, I need more cards in my hand. And it seemed to have amassed 2. And we will throw out another, since we have the mana for it. And we will attack with 8. As you can tell, both his creatures are tapped and cannot block. This should give us the win. And it did. Feel free to look at the second game, go back and see each turn and how I did it. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and as always, please subscribe to CSI Gaming. I will go over more different archetypes in future videos and show you more in-depth about each card and how to use them. On the next video, I will go over what we call a mill deck and why it is very easy to play, yet very, very strategically able to win in a lot of competitive matches. Thank you.